Hey everyone, welcome back to Mahjong Soul, where our current objective is to get out of the expert rank and into the master rank. If you're just here joining us from the Riichi Mahjong tutorial, welcome. Because we're still early on in this series, I'm going to be explaining the game and explaining what I'm doing a little more than I'd like. But obviously, as we both get more comfortable, we'll find a healthy mix between that and good old-fashioned banter. So let's get into a game. All right, let's get into it. Please, Mahjong gods, shine favorably upon me today. Look, it's been fine. We've been losing, we've been winning. Nothing's been going particularly too well or too bad. However, like, in my wildest dreams, would I like the start of this YouTube channel to mark the Mahjong Renaissance, where I suddenly stop losing and just start winning? Yeah, I would love that. I would love nothing more than that. Okay, so this hand is okay. This hand is okay. We're clinging on to optimism by holding on to this green dragon. But you know what? Let's be a little optimistic. And if someone else discards a green dragon, we immediately abandon that optimism and become a hardened cynic, okay? Look, I know I said I was going to over-explain or talk about the game a little bit more. Let's address the elephant in the room. Why am I looking fresh? Why am I was going to say fresh AH, you know, fresh AF, but I didn't want to get in trouble with YouTube. I still don't really know how those rules work. So, why am I looking capital F fresh, right? Okay, here's the story. My SO and I, we were furniture shopping, and I saw this guy, and he was wearing a t-shirt and a blazer, and I thought he looked phenomenal. I couldn't stop talking about it. Like we saw the guy, and then we went furniture shopping, and then we came out of the store, and I was like, hey, are you still thinking about that guy's outfit? Because I am. And then I realized, you have a blazer. There's no rule that says you can't wear a blazer and a t-shirt. And thus, we're here today wearing a t-shirt and a blazer. There's no rule that you can't wear blazers. There's no rule that says a dog can't play basketball. It's all part of life. And I hate to say it, it's making me feel confident. It's making me feel good. Like, I don't know if the other players at this Mahjong table can tell, but they should be scared. I'm discarding tiles confidently right now, okay? That's not true. I'm discarding tiles pretty meekly and cutting, you know, the green dragon was its own can of worms. I mean, you're looking at this hand and you're thinking maybe all triplets, maybe 7 pairs, maybe we fold immediately because our opponent just went into Riichi and I don't want to deal into a monster hand early on into the game. So, okay, let's talk about the game a little, right? So they went into Riichi. What does this mean for us? Well, they've already discarded an 8 of bamboo and a 5 of bamboo, so those are both fairly safe discards. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. This 7 of circles, aka 7 of wheels, aka 7 of pancakes, depending on, you know, the circles that you run in, is not great in my hand. But maybe I want to cut this 5 and just try to go for like a 7 pairs hand. I don't know. Nothing's looking that great. I don't want to con either, dude. Oh man, I don't want to con either. I don't really know how we get out of this, okay? And you're looking at me like I watched your Mahjong tutorial. Like, you don't want to see your teacher get insecure, okay? You want your teacher to be confident. And don't get me wrong, I would love to be that for you. I would absolutely love to be that confident, handsome teacher. Oh, thank God. Thank God. That little pause was terrifying. Let's just be honest. But no, I'm scared, okay? Imagine like you go into your philosophy 101 class. I shouldn't say philosophy because that would honestly be kind of cool. You walk into a philosophy discussion and your professor's like, anybody else scared right now? And you're like, holy, I don't even know what the frick is going on. This guy's being so vulnerable right now. This is philosophy. Oh man. There's not a lot of great discards here. I think this 7 is actually safe. I mean, we're making like a Ben and Foldsing right now, okay? I think the closest thing we have to hope is a 7 pairs hand, and we know that if we really needed to, we can tear up this these remaining 8 of characters. That's not safe at all. That's not a safe tile at all, dude. That's an at-risk tile. Somebody get this tile into some after-school clubs, you know, develop a social scene. Anyway, that feels good wearing a blazer. Oh man, dude. What's with all these NSFW tiles? I mean, there's nothing lewd about them. It's just I would like to draw tiles that are possibly safe to discard. You know what I mean? What's a guy gotta do, etc., etc. Okay, that's safe to discard. Yep, we're folding. Let's see if this player had like a huge hand or if they were just calling Riichi with like a, you know, a very simple low scoring hand. So the scoring is something that we actually haven't talked about in Mahjong. And like, I'm gonna be completely honest with you either. The reason that we didn't talk about it in the tutorial is because it's not necessarily, necessarily like a requirement to you playing and having a good time. However, like we can explain this here, because this player discarded the winning tile to this player, they pay the entirety of that point total, you know what I mean? Whereas if they sumoed, which is if they had drawn their own winning tile, the remaining the points that they would have earned would have been subtracted evenly between the remaining 3 players. Not particularly evenly, like the dealer will usually pay 50%, whereas the other players will only pay 25%. But so that's why you want to be really, really careful when someone goes into Riichi, right? Like you don't want to discard their winning tile. What if they have a monster hand and then you're stuck and you're basically like kind of fricked, you know what I mean? Early on in the game. All right, this is a great hand. I mean, it's not amazing, but like our shapes are fine. And we can just go for a quick win. We already got our pair taken care of in this 2 of characters. We can, wow, what a great draw. What a great draw. So we can either pawn a 5 of bamboo or chi a 3 or a 6 of bamboo and then discard this 5. So the red 5, there's 1 red 5 in every single suit. What do we want to do here? I don't know if this is correct. Let's cut this for the time being. I don't know if that's correct. I think another extremely valid thing to do in that situation is to try to break up this 8 and 9. Like 2, 3, 4, 5, there's options here, right? Like we could turn this into 2 straights very, very easily. Like for this, the 3 is definitely a helpful thing. So we can draw a 1 of circles right now and make 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5. Whereas with this 8 and 9, because it's at like, you know, because 9 is a terminal, it's the end of the 1 through 9 straight. Jesus Christ, I was an English major. I should be able to explain this better. It's not that flexible, you know what I mean? Like the best way that a 9-8 can be flexible is if you draw a 6 and you discard the 9 and now you have a 6-8. And then if you draw a 5, you discard your 8 and then you have a 5-6. I know this is probably very, very confusing. The point of it is that like all simps is good, not only because it's a good way to learn the game, but doing all simples is good because 1s and 9s are generally hard to use. Like it's not that difficult to finish an all simps hand, you know? All right. I also like, I hate to flex, right? I hate to just brag, but I did show my Mahjong tutorial to my SO and she likes Mahjong now. Like, don't get me wrong. In the back of my mind, there is the fear that like they're lying, but I don't think she is. Because, you know, we have a trusting and communicate very openly, you know? So I'm freaking excited. I think I'm living the dream. We played a round of Mahjong together the other day. It was incredible. We just played a, you know, like not against one another, but 2 of us at the same tablet against some easy AIs. It was lovely, okay? Other people out here, they're going outside. They're taking walks. Nah, dude. Are you kidding me? Mahjong Soul. Mahjong Soul is the best way to spend an afternoon guaranteed, okay? All right, this is fine. It's actually not fine. They're not great shapes, 6-9, nice, but it's actually really, really bad. So I can try to explain to you the theory behind it. However, in watching a lot of like, like Riichi Mahjong content about like how to get better, mostly from Japanese speaking channels, right? Because it's way more popular in Japan. So mostly from watching Japanese videos where either it's translated via the subtitles or I'm just watching, trying to make sense of what's going on. But the 6-9 shape is not very good. The same with the 1-4 shape. Like if you get dealt an opening hand with 6 and 9 in a particular suit or a 1 and a 4, you'll generally want to cut the 1 in that case or the 9 in the other case, because the 6 and the 9, they don't really talk to one another. You know what I mean? You'll find that when drawing a 7 or an 8, it's really redundant to have that 9 in the first place. That's the most simple way that I can explain it. And can I be honest with you? Can I say something that doesn't inspire a lot of confidence? In the same voice that I was using for the philosophy professor who was scared, you're just gonna have to trust me on this one. The 6 and 9 shape are not that great. Why am I keeping this south wind? That's an excellent question. I don't know. It's not great, but we're just whittling down our hand so that we have like good shapes and opportunities. Okay, these draws, if I can be candid with you, pretty garbo. These draws are not that good. Let's hope that our luck turns around. So yeah, we definitely want to cut this south wind now. Yep. Okay, so this is looking better. Unfortunately, we have no tiles even remotely close to the 6 of circles, but we really want to keep it because this is the Dora indicator, which means that the 6 is the Dora. So this 6 just by itself is really valuable. So we should try to finish our hand with it. However, we don't want to get too tunnel visioned. Like, we don't want to sacrifice too much in just trying to keep this 6. Like, if it's not working, it's not working. You know what I mean? Sorry if I'm, making any people watching at home examine their, re-examine their romantic relationships right now, but it is what it is, Hey, this 6 of circles isn't asking me, how my day is or showing an emotional interest in me. Maybe we discard it a little earlier. Get back on Hinge, Okay, I don't know. Don't. This is a Mahjong channel. Let me just remind myself. You know how like those stock channels, which are just like 5 best stocks to get rich immediately, and then they have to hit you with this is not financial advice because they don't want to get sued, because people have a hard time predicting the market. This is not romantic advice. I'm gonna be honest. Went out on way too big of a limb there. Okay, do not get your romantic advice from this channel. It is quite frankly a miracle. that I'm somehow not single in this day and age, in this economy. All right. I mean, this is fine. Don't get me wrong. You're looking at this and you're thinking full flush, right? If we cut this 1 and 3 and the 6 of 7, we can get a full flush of just the circle. Oh man. Lin-Manuel Miranda voice, Lord, tell me how to say no to this. This is looking so good. I want to full flush this so bad. And I think let's go for it. Let's go for it. It's early on in the game. We haven't really made any big moves yet. This player sitting across from us is kind of running away with it, but that's okay. I mean, here's the thing. I don't hate keeping this. You want to know why? Because we could transition from a full flush to a half flush pretty easily with this west wind. All right, a con. I mean, I'm going to be honest. I don't know if that con is the best idea. But I like it. It's greedy. It flips open a new Dora indicator, so you're like taking the chance to really hit big on this hand. I mean, I don't hate it. I don't hate it whatsoever. But, the downside is if you don't have a lot of the 3 of character tiles, you're kind of screwed, Oh, man. You hate to see this because we could have had 5, 6, 7, but we're playing a little greedy, okay? We're playing a little greedy like a middle manager at a big pharma company, okay? Yeah, get this out of here. So you're looking at me right now and you're thinking, Yusung, was it a mistake to try to go for this full flush or half flush hand? I'm shaking. I'm nervous, okay? Because I think there's a good opportunity for us to be able to finish this hand. And you love to see that. You love to see that. But it's getting a little nerve-wracking, right? And also, other players, if they're keen, right? They're seeing my discards. They're like, oh my god, that guy has not discarded a single tile in the circle suit. They must be waiting for other tiles in the circle suit. You know what I mean? And also they're playing so confidently. Are they wearing some kind of blazer or something? These are probably the things that are going through other players' heads as they're watching me do this. Holy moly. Can we go for this? Yeah, I think we call here. Because now we're waiting on the 5 of circles or the 8 of circles. It's not great, right? There's only 1 8 of circles left in the entire wall. And the 5, I was gonna say was rare, but not if you're good. I mean, that's just incredibly lucky, but wow, what a great hand. Holy moly, what a great hand. Full flush, 5 Han. Oh, what's that? A Hanim on hand? Oops. I love Mahjong. It's so good. Like, I know that our generation can only communicate through memes. So in doing so, I will say, are you feeling it now, Mr. Krabs? Like, it's freaking electric in the air right now. I'm activated, okay? I feel so alive. Like, meditation will only get me a fraction of, make me feel a fraction of how present Mahjong makes me feel, okay? Look, don't get your romantic advice or your psychiatry advice from this channel. But I'm saying this game owns, okay? This hand isn't great. But you know who else didn't have that great of a start? I was gonna say Jesus Christ, but that seems like it could really offend some people. Editors, cut this out. Just kidding. I don't have any editors. That's making it in, okay? Look, you're like, oh, you sung, don't do it. Don't veer into that edgy kind of humor. It's only gonna alienate other people, and no one's ready to hear controversial takes yet. Yeah, that's probably good advice. That's probably good advice. But didn't Jesus have like humble beginnings? Okay. Or am I thinking of Jay-Z's autobiography? Like, I'm gonna be honest with you. Can I be honest with you? Can we talk really candidly for a moment? In high school, I had to do a book report, and I did it on Jay-Z's autobiography because I was like, you can't make me play by the rules. I'm gonna do a cool book. And it was cool. And it made me the person that I am today, which is incredibly dorky, you know? But the point of it is, dude, are you kidding? Oops, all character tiles? Are you seeing this? We maybe should have discarded this white dragon. I'm not sure going for another full flush or half flush or just a hand with a lot of character tiles is the right thing to do here. Also, this 6-7-7-9 shape, I'm not really sure what's going on with that. But that's okay. What was I talking about the Jay-Z book for? Oh yeah, no good reason whatsoever. Yep, that makes sense. Why would I discard the 3 of circles instead of this Northwind that I definitely should have discarded in its stead? You got me there. You got me there, okay? I'm just imagining like a Frost Nixon parody, but they're just talking about, look, I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what Frost Nixon is about. I know that Nixon was impeached. English major. I know that Nixon was impeached for doing this is humiliating. Why am I trying to do this? He did something bad. Okay, I'm just trying to piece together. Dude, I took AP US history too. Okay, hang on. Nixon did something bad. This is humiliating. Why am I doing this? I think he stole something from the Democratic National Convention. I think he maybe like had early access to the debate questions or something like that. And was so ashamed. I mean, not really ashamed, because when I'm saying when the president does it, it's not illegal. Like, you know, that happened. But and then Frost Nixon, look, I'm just trying to piece together what Frost Nixon could possibly be about. I think there was a journalist named something Frost. I was going to say Robert Frost, but that's a poet. Don't get your romantic advice from this channel. Don't get your psychiatry advice from this channel, okay? Also, if you're an English major, I know I'm also an English major. Nope, I'm gonna need you to turn on something way more helpful right now, okay? I'm gonna need you to turn off your laptop, immediately walk away, and just think about your life decisions for a little bit, okay? Now, the player to the right of us has gone into Riichi. I don't really like this. Also, we're in a great spot right now. We're in first place. Don't get me wrong, we're still fairly early on, but we're in a great place. I don't want to deal into their hand. I'm so comfortable folding right now, and just trying to survive. Now, we know because this player discarded a 9 of bamboo after this player called Riichi, that this 9 of bamboo is safe to discard. We also know that because they have discarded green dragons, that this tile is also safe to discard. Yo, they also just dropped a 6 of circles, which means that this is also safe to discard. Wow, the player across from us is playing, I guess, a little more haphazardly. Like, that 7 wasn't necessarily super safe to discard, but they must be aiming for, like, a big hand or something. Like, they're sending signals that they don't necessarily want to fold right now, which I respect. Sometimes you gotta be brave. Okay, 2 is safe to discard. It's really helpful in this game. Like, if you hover over your own tiles, the game itself will highlight all other instances of that tile. So like you're seeing this one, right? One of characters. The player to our left has discarded it, but it was super early on in this game. So this player in Riichi could still be waiting, could very well be waiting on a 1 of characters. They were waiting on a 4 and a 7 of characters. Also, this player was waiting on a 5 of characters. So, okay. So when the game ends and no one wins, the players who are in Tenpai, which means they're 1 tile away from winning, collect points from the players who were not in Tenpai, which means that like my hand wasn't 1 tile away from winning. We were still a ways away. So we paid 1,500. So it's not like the right decision all the time to fold, but like I would rather pay 1,500 points than get completely shellacked by dealing into a Hanemon hand and having to pay like, you know, 3,000 points or something along those lines, you know? Oh man, this is a weird situation. Discarding this 4 of characters might not be the best thing to do, but we've got decent shapes for the rest of our hand, you know? I don't necessarily want to do all simps right now. Oh, okay. I mean, this is weird. This is definitely weird. We're 1 tile away from Tenpai, which, as you'll recall, means we'll then be 1 tile away from winning. It's like kind of like in baseball. You can be on deck or in the hole. This is knowledge from when I played baseball in 6th grade and only got 1 hit the entire season. And also, I only hit the ball once. Like I only connected off of a pitch once, and it went really, really far, right? It was pure luck, because people will tell you, like, watch the bat hit the ball. Oh, no kidding. Oh, I was actually just watching the parents getting little juices out of their cooler. No, of course I'm trying to watch the bat hit the ball. It doesn't work, man. Have you seen how bad I am at this? Point is, I hit the ball and went really far, and it was caught by a kid who, like, hadn't had a catch the entire season. Like, we were both equally unathletic, and they caught my ball. So that was pretty cool. You know what? We're going into Riichi here. Absolutely, we're going into Riichi. So we're waiting on the 7 of characters or the 9 of characters. So we'll finish 1 triplet and use the other as our pair. Why am I feeling confident in this? Because it's an early game-ish Riichi, right? Like, there's not a lot of information to glean from the tiles we've already discarded. Like, you can see, like, we've only discarded so many tiles. So if you have those, you're safe. But, like for example, what if I had went into Riichi on like the very first turn? You would have no idea what's safe and what's dangerous to discard, right? Whereas, like, versus if I went into Riichi after like 30 tiles had been dealt, you would know, like, okay, I mean, this player's discarded so many tiles. I can just kind of break up my hand, fold, and deal tiles that they've already dealt, thus playing it really, really safe. So by not giving the other players a lot of information, going into Riichi early is generally an advantageous position. However, now that we haven't necessarily gotten super lucky, like we haven't drawn the tile that we've needed and no one else has really discarded it, we're giving a lot more information, right? So, like, because we discarded this 6 a few turns ago, the player to our left just discarded a 6 of circles because they know we can't win off of it, you know? So we're bleeding information right now. Okay, this is fine. This is fine. We're still waiting on a 9 of characters, and it's also like you might get baited, right? Like if you're one of these players, you're like, whoa, that player discarded a 9 of characters. Granted, it was really early on before I called Riichi, but like that player discarded a 9 of characters. There's only 3 of them left. Could they really be waiting on a 9 of characters? Like, they might be lulled into a false sense of security because this player has incidentally dealt a 9 of characters. We can only hope about that. And now you're looking, oh man, it would have been great to, like, instead of discarding this red 5, which is valuable on its own, to discard this, like, not red 5, right? But this is the downside of being in Riichi. We know we lose a lot of the agency that we once had in being able to choose our discards. And yet, never punished, dude. Absolutely never punished. Also, you'll notice that we're the dealer. We're sitting in the east seat, and we have that red background next to our wind. Because we're the dealer, and because we won, we're in the East 4 round, and now we will repeat the East 4 round. So, time for a salty run back, you know what I mean? Okay. Wow, this hand is not terrible. It's not terrible whatsoever. So why am I cutting the 9 here, right? Well, it's because, like, what's our best case scenario? It's we draw a 7, and we can either complete it 7, 8, 9, or 6, 7, 8. And in this case, this is the Dora indicator, and the 6 of bamboo is the Dora, which means it's valuable all by itself. So we'll want to keep this. Like, we lose nothing from discarding this 9 of bamboo. Now, the game might prove me wrong and just keep dealing me 9 of bamboo tiles over and over to make me, like, eat my words. But that's okay. Like, I get it. You got a chip on your shoulder, etc., etc. Huh. I don't really know what to discard here. I think this 9 is okay to discard. Why am I hanging on to hope for this east wind? Because not only is it the prevalent wind, like it's the east round, it's also our seat wind. So if we complete a triplet of the east winds, we'll not only get points for it being the prevalent round, but we'll also get points for it being the seat wind as well. The prevalent wind and the seat wind, excuse me. What am I doing here? To be honest with you, I'm not super sure. The 3, unfortunately, also doesn't connect to anything at the time being. That was a great draw. So this is a great position to be in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what can we do here? If we draw a 3, we can have 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5. We can also draw a 6 and do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that's a great position to be in. You'll notice too that no one else has discarded an east wind yet. So maybe someone else is sitting on a pair. Maybe we're all hanging on to hope by keeping hold of one of them. But it's a general good rule of thumb. Like, if a player discards an east wind, the chances of you completing that triplet are going to be much, much lower. Because remember, there's only 4 of every tile in the entire wall. So if someone discards 1 of like an honor tile, like say the red dragon or a wind that you're looking for or something, you'll probably just want to cut your other one. Oh man, I think I'm gonna cut this east one here. Now you're looking at me and you're like, oh my god, what are you, an oil baron? Because the greed here is just fully on display. This 6 is not. Oh, they went into Riichi. Oh my god, dude. And I've never heard this Riichi music before. Okay, I'm gonna fold right now. Okay, this is terrifying. This is so terrifying. There's so many dangerous tiles, and we also don't have a lot of safe discards right now. The 5 of characters is suddenly safe to discard. Let's go. I'm folding right now. This is such a dangerous situation. And I'm in first place, which gives me the luxury of being able to fold like this. Okay, white dragon is safe for this player. Well, it's dangerous for this player a little, but that's okay. It's very unlikely that they could be waiting on a white dragon to win. Northwind, 3. Oh no. I'm gonna play a 1 because terminal tiles are generally safer. Terminal tiles being 1s and 9s. Please, someone win. Please, I can't handle the stress anymore. Oh my god, I can't handle the highs and lows of high school football. You know what I mean? 4 of bamboo suddenly becoming safe. Thank you. Thank you for giving me a safe out. Oh my god, that feels so good. Like, don't you feel like you're stepping in like a minefield right now? This is the electricity that is high level Riichi Mahjong, intermediate level Riichi Mahjong. I'm gonna discard this 6. It's not super safe. Okay, it was safe for this player who was in Riichi, but it wasn't safe for this player who was in Riichi. It's a very terrifying situation. If we can somehow make it another 10 turns without dealing in, oh, that would taste so good. So, great opportunities there, right? They discarded a 1 of bamboo. We're discarding a 1 of bamboo. Something that I didn't mention in my tutorial, and I wish that I did, was that the 1 of bamboo looks like a bird. You know? The 1 of bamboo is not, you know, bamboo presenting, I guess. I don't know what I'm saying. Wow, they were both waiting on the Dora. Okay, so you see this? Oil barons. Every one of them, oil barons. They were being so greedy, but like, I've done that too. So this is why the Dora tile is so valuable. This is why, like, right now you're looking at the Dora indicator, and now the 8 of bamboo is going to be shiny. So everyone's going to want to make, excuse me, real voice reveal. Everyone's going to want to make a winning hand that includes the 8 of bamboo. So if someone calls Riichi, you do not want to deal the Dora tile, no matter what. Unless you're having like a monster hand and you're like, I got to fight for it, you know? So, great, right? Why does it feel good to pawn the red dragon so easily? Because a lot of, generally, like, concealed hands where you don't pawn or chi are more valuable than open hands, right? However, like, we're in first place, so we just want to win as fast as possible. Like, we just want to advance the game. And so we don't really care if we have like a huge hand. All that we care is about having a hand that finishes. So we're just trying to play really efficiently. And basically, if you pawn a red dragon or a white dragon or a green dragon or okay, I mean, this is a little weird. This is a little weird for sure. We're still waiting on a pair right now. I know that we had a pair, but I don't want to tear up this 1, 2, 3 sequence. Now we can pawn and shi all we want because we have a Yaku completed already. So we don't have to worry about like pawning and shiing and being like, how am I gonna make this hand valuable at the end, you know? All right, here we go. Oh man, I don't want to discard this red 5 either, and yet I'm gonna do it. I want to win fast. We don't have to win big, we just have to win fast. So don't get me wrong, we would love a 1 or a 4 of circles. That's obvious. We would also love a 7 of bamboo. That's also very obvious. However, the Dora indicator being the 7 of bamboo means already, right? Because this is the dead wall. This is I'm not gonna con here, dude. I'm not gonna con here. Talk about having good high school teachers, because I'm not going to Khan Academy, okay? Why don't I want to con there, even though the button looks really fun to press? It's because I don't want to win big. I just need to win fast. And I don't want to flip open another Dora indicator and suddenly propel someone else's hand into stardom, you know? So I don't want to make someone else's hand like a monster hand, like an extremely valuable hand. Oh, here we go. Oh, you love to see it. We now have our pair. We're just waiting on the 7 of bamboo to win. Why take that risk, you know? This is a very measured, calculated way to play Mahjong. This is the Moneyball way to play Mahjong right now. Okay, this character's taking a long time to think. Maybe they're going into Riichi. Now that's something. Now that's extremely unfortunate, because I would love to win right now. The green dragon is relatively safe. I mean, like, as safe as you can be. There's already 2 of them discarded. They would have to have 1 and be waiting on a single green dragon. It's just very unlikely, right? 5 of characters in this economy. F it, dude. I'm folding. I know it feels bad. Don't get me wrong. It feels awful to fold like this. But like, I don't want to, as someone who's in first position, as someone who's in first right now, I don't want to deal into the player who's in second. Wow, okay, so they dealt a 3 of circles. So if we need to fold further, which we can do so by discarding the 3 of circles, which is now proven to be safe. Yeah, okay. I mean, we have some flexibility here. We could still complete a sequence if we wanted to. Like, don't get me wrong. I know it seems like when we fold, we tear up our hand and we have no chance of winning whatsoever. However, there are some cases, right? There are some cases where you can fold, but you can still end up winning. Like, if there's enough information to where the tiles that you discard can be safe, you can, and you can still make a winning hand. You can still get there. This is not a situation where that's gonna happen, obviously. And in retrospect, like, the 7 of bamboo did come out, which means that we would have won. But in trying to win, we might have dealt into this player's hand. So I'm really curious what, like, at the end of this game, we can take a look at the tiles that we had. Okay, they were waiting on a 4 and 6 of characters. So I think we could have played a little more risky. I immediately forgot the tiles that we had. If I'm going to be honest with you, I immediately forgot the tiles that we had. Okay. This is fine. We're now in the south round, and you're looking at this north wind, like, it's not really doing anything right now. We're not sitting in the north seat. It's not great. It's not great, but we can still keep it as a pair. Unfortunately, we can't pawn this north wind. Why? Because it's not a Yaku at all. It is neither the prevalent wind, nor is it the seat wind. And then we would have to, like, somehow cobble together a Yaku from our remaining hand, which we don't necessarily have. Now, what we can do here is just try to go into Riichi. I think that's the best move that we currently have afforded to us. So this will probably be our pair. This can be one shape. like one set of 3. This can be one set of 3. This can be one set of 3, and this could be one set of 3. I mean, false. I'm just gonna abandon this right now. Okay, that's. I mean, we have some more flexibility here, right? Because we're no longer restricted to just using these as our pair. And don't get me wrong, like if you were to put me on a lie detector test right now and be like, Yusung, how confident are you that you're playing the most efficient way to get a winning hand? I wouldn't be able to tell you straight. Like I don't know if what we're doing is right or wrong necessarily. You know what I want to do, and I don't know if it's too late to be doing this at this point. I'm cutting these north winds. I'm cutting these north winds and just going for all simps. Because for all simps, we can pawn and chi all we want, okay? It's an all-you-can chi buffet. And we can just win as fast as possible. So don't get me wrong. We would have to break up this 1 and 2 of characters, and that's coming next. This south wind, if we can get another one, that would be amazing. But if we can't, it's getting cut. Okay, this is fine. This is fine. I know we're cutting tiles left and right, like we're a harsh cheerleading coach from the television series Glee. But you know what? That's just Mahjong. Sometimes you gotta be a little ruthless, you know? Kill your darlings, etc., etc. So now it's pretty clear based on my discards being 1s, 9s, and honor tiles mostly that I am going for an all simps hand. However, it's really hard to play around all simps because like your winning tiles could be anything. It could be so varied, you know? So this player, now if we're looking at this player, you're starting to sweat a little, right? I'm starting to sweat a little. It's a little terrifying because they haven't discarded a single bamboo tile. So either they're going for something weird or they're going for a half flush that's just bamboo tiles and honor tiles. So hopefully we don't draw a single bamboo tile for the rest of the game. That would be lovely. That would be incredible. Oh, you love to see it. Now we are in Tenpai. We're 1 tile away from winning. So you can also expand this menu here, and there's this auto call win button that I sometimes click, where it's just like, as soon as your winning tile is dealt, you call win. And like, it just really helps us anxious players. You know what I mean? Like, what if we miss it or something? So hopefully someone deals the 4 or the 7 of bamboo. Now, if other players are observing, like, hey, this player hasn't dealt a single bamboo tile. This player hasn't dealt a single bamboo tile. It's really dangerous to be dealing bamboo tiles right now. Okay, that's fine. But hopefully we still get dealt the tiles that were needed. You know what I mean? This player, I think, is, wow. So I think they just might be fighting because they think they have a good hand, which is a little scary. Like, if we were to draw, like, I don't know, like another 6 of bamboo or something, or another 5, that's not great either. So, right, we could have discarded the 6 and waited on either a 5 of circles or a 5 of bamboo as our winning condition, but I like waiting on this 4-7 more. Why? Because there's already been a 5 discarded, so the chances that we draw it are less, and also 5 tiles are generally valuable. Like, you can make a 3-4-5, a 4-5-6, or a 5-6-7 sequence with them. Not only that, they have the red 5s in every suit, right? So you would want to, you're incentivized to keep pairs or triplets of 5s, right? Okay, so they won with a 7 pairs hand. That's not something that you see every day. Not only that, they did 7 pairs while also doing all simps. Now that's a very valuable hand right there. You got to respect a player who plays with a hand like that. Okay, this is okay. Now you're thinking, you're looking at this and you're like, all simps? And I'm looking at you like, all simps. So if we can cut, oh, now that changes things. That definitely changes things. So this is weird, right? Like, we have a pair of white dragons, but unfortunately, one of them's already been discarded. So there's only one of them left in the entire wall. Not only that, it could be a part of the dead wall, right? Like, it's not guaranteed that one's going to come out. So it's not self-evident, or it's not guaranteed by any means that we're going to be able to finish this triplet. And yet, I want to. I want to, okay? Because as soon as we get that, say it with me. On 3. 1, 2, 3. It's an all-you-can chi buffet, okay? It's an all-you-can pawn and chi buffet. Okay, this is fine. Now, why am I hanging on to this south wind? Because it's the south round, and we're sitting in the south seat. So it's extra, you know, we are incentivized to keep it because it's a very valuable tile. Like, if I was somehow smart enough to write an AI that plays Mahjong, I would teach them, like, hey, If you're in the round and you're sitting in the seat, keep the wind. Keep the wind. Because if you win, you'll win really, really big. Okay. Dude, you're gonna hate this. Or you're gonna love this as a sign of maturity. I don't want this Dora tile anymore. It's too scary. It's too scary because what if we can't make it work on our hand? Like, it's not touching anything right now. And I would rather discard it now when people are far away from winning, right? Like further away from winning than later in the game when people have like cobbled together winning hands and they're just waiting on 1 or 2 tiles. You know what I mean? So let's cut our dangerous tiles early and see what happens. Ooh. What is this, dude? What is this? What is this? We need a pair. Okay, because we need a pair, let's just keep the 5 of circles as our pair. So what are we wanting to build here? Oh my god. Can you go frick yourself? This is rough. This is rough. Okay, so they discarded a 6. We don't have a lot of information to work with. Oh, they discarded a 6, which means that they can't have a 4 and a 5. So if they can't have a 4 and a 5, that means they're not waiting on a 3. Okay, you love to see that. You love just to see facts and logic in Riichi Mahjong, you know? Oh, okay, I mean, the 3 is now safe to discard, which you love to see. Well, you love to see that. Thank you for making the ultimate sacrifice, for being a little risky up top. So I'm going to say, like, we've had pretty good luck this Mahjong session. Not only that, I think we've played pretty well, like a little patient sometimes, a little, you know, some people might describe it as cowardly. Some would describe it as reserved. Okay, I mean, that's unfortunate, but at least, but what I was going to say is we've also been very lucky in that the tiles that we've drawn are also, they also happen to be safe-ish tiles to discard. Now, sometimes you just get boned, you know, like sometimes like you just draw like very valuable tiles that you cannot use, and then you have to discard them, and then someone wins, and then you've dealt it to their hand, so you pay the entirety of their point total. Okay, so the 5 of circles is also safe, but I don't need to play risky at all. I don't need to play risky at all. Growth, character growth. We could have discarded this 9 of circles and been 1 tile away from winning. But look at that. We've kind of danced around, and now we're still 1 tile away from winning, but now we're waiting on the 8 of circles. Is this safe to discard? God. Okay, we are no longer 1 tile away from winning, but that just goes to show you that sometimes, like, just because one player is called Riichi, and just because you're folding, and that would have been so dangerous because we might have discarded it, like, soon, you know? 7 pairs. 7 pairs. Holy moly. They had 2 Dora tiles. They had 2 of the 7 of bamboo because the 6 was the Dora indicator. This is a monster hand. It's a Hanemon hand. This is why you have to be careful when someone goes into Riichi, okay? And now they're in first place by like 1,000 points. Okay, we want to win here. We want to win here. Oh, what a great hand. Thank you, Mahjong gods. Thank you for blessing us. I mean, it's actually not that great of a hand, but look at this. We have a pair of the East Wind. We're sitting in the East seat, and we have a pair of the White Dragons, which, come on. White Dragon D's, you know, over someone's forehead. You know what I mean? Like, you love to see it. This is a good hand. This is a good hand because I'm excited. Hopefully someone drops this one or this one so that we can enter our all-you-can-chi and pawn buffet. But also, even if they don't, we can start chiing and pawning because it is likely that one of these does come out eventually. You know what I mean? Even though that we have no Yaku right now, we're gambling on the fact that eventually we'll get a Yaku. And, you know, just saying that gave me chills. I'm such a dork, man. Okay, here we go. I'm really hoping to draw some better tiles because, like, we don't have, like, these are single weights here. Wow! An all-natural farm-to-table East Wind triplet. You love to see it. You love to see it. Okay. 2, 3. You'll love to see that. You'll love to see that as well. So we can pawn and chi all we want here. We can break up this 7 and 9. I mean, like, this 7 and 9 is, like, similar in shape to this 3 and 5, right? Because we're technically waiting on 1 tile that's going to be in the middle. However, 9 is much less flexible than a 5. This 4, though, is not doing anything for us whatsoever. So let's cut that first. Okay. I mean, we're close. My breathing's getting a little faster. My heartbeat's going like a Nicki Minaj song. Boom, ba-doom, boom, boom, etc., etc., okay? Okay, you love to see that. You love to see that. I mean, if we were really greedy, which we don't have to be, right? We're in second place right now. We don't have to be super greedy. We could go for like an all triplets hand, but all triplets you think is a great idea, right? It's like, oh, it's like this like new, like a rarer Yaku that people might not expect, right? But getting triplets is really hard because remember, there's only 4 of each tile in the entire wall. So it's really, really hard to get triplets. So you could make an argument that we should have dropped this 5 of characters because it is more dangerous than the 7 of circles. And neither of them are really going to help us in the long term. I mean, this 5 could come in handy depending on what comes out, but I would rather drop it now. It's just too dangerous, you know? No one man should have all that power, etc., etc. Okay, this is fine. This is fine. I mean, we still haven't really gotten closer to finishing our hand. Excuse me. Okay, now we are closer to finishing our hand. Now this feels really good. To get there, we might have to discard like a 2 or a 5 of bamboo. Hopefully we don't have to discard this 5, but it's looking likely, you know what I mean? Not only that, this is bad because in finishing this sequence, there's been a lot of 4s discarded. So there's not a lot of them remaining, right? Why did I cut the 5 of bamboo in favor of keeping this 9? God damn it. Oh my god. So why did I do that? It's because the 5 is more dangerous and the 9 is safer and it makes really no difference to us. So unfortunately, the round ends with us being in second. However, that was a great game of Mahjong. That was a great game of Mahjong. We had a great Hanuman hand, a 12,000 point hand at a certain point. That felt incredible. That felt super, super good. Not only that, we move up in ELO. I'm going to tell you right now because I'm blocking it. We got 56 ranking points. We're almost halfway up again. Not only that, we're bonding with our character. Always nice, you know. Reject IRL relationships. Embrace Mahjong soul relationships, okay? And so, yeah, that's going to do it for today. That was honestly a great game of Mahjong. So, obviously, if you want to see more content, please like and subscribe. If you have any questions, leave a comment below. I'd love to help you learn more about the game. Truly, truly. And so, yeah, I'll see you soon with another Mahjong video. In the meantime, please take care of yourself, and I'll talk to you soon, okay? All right, peace.